Hey everyone, welcome back to the studio where even dreams believe. I am Ingrid and I'm happy to be here today with you. You will see that it is a fantastically sunny morning and I have decided to use every opportunity I get to paint because we live in a complex and sometimes we have got noisy neighbors, so it makes my recordings challenging. So I thought to this morning, sometimes we wonder if something is AI generated or if it is the truth. You can see here, the sun is peeping through the top windows here. It will pass just now. And also, if you do hear the neighbors, it is a real video. It is not AI generated. Okay, all right. So we are busy with the forest. And I am very happy to report that it actually dried very well with the gel kit on the oil pastels. So let me share my screen and show you the setup for this morning. Okay, there we go. All right. So now let's just have a look here. Okay. So as you can see, on this side over here, I have got some brushes. Now, because I paint with lots of different mediums, I usually do not mix my brushes. So these are some of my oil brushes that I use. Okay, this one might be sacrificed today because this is my all-rounder, but I do have another one here that is missing a few digits that I think would be very good for foliage. Okay, so this container here is an egg box. And this is fantastic if you want to rest your brushes to dry, or if you just don't want your brushes to roll around when you are working. Sometimes I would even cut these if I have a lot of students so that all of them use them as a brush rest while they are painting. So have a look and see what you have. You don't always have to buy the most expensive. I also have made a few brush rests. Let me see if I can grab them quickly and show you. Okay, so these brush rests here were made with air dry clay. So it's just a piece of clay that you shape where you can rest your brushes. So you can put your brushes down. It's fantastic. They don't move around. And then this one here, I made like small industrial buildings. It reminded me of small factories so that you can also put your brushes there. So it's just air dry clay. This is the white air dry clay, and it's very easy and it's fun to work with also. So yes, you can make these. What you just have to do is you have to just seal them with I used a matte medium here because I didn't really want them glossy. Or you can, when you are finished, when they are dry, paint them with white acrylic, because that also acts as a seal, because it's air dry clay. If it sits in water, it's going to dissolve. Okay, all right, so those are the air dry clay. Then what I also have got over here, I have got my oil pastels again, and then extra paint over there, oil paint, my Galcad gloss, and then here on my palette, this is just again a glass palette with a white paper underneath. It's just it wasn't a glass from an old car. I think it was I'm not sure if it was from a combi or where it was from, but oh dear, a neighbor's car alarm has just gone off. Sorry. Okay, So now this is very helpful. The white, you can put a white paper or cardboard under it also, because then you see the color that you are mixing. If it is on a black background, then it's very difficult to see the color that you are going to get. Okay, so what I have got here, I have got some Prussian blue, alizarin crimson. This was sap green. This is terra something. Let's have a look here quickly. Terra verde. It's this one here. It's a darker green and then some yellow ochre. So I don't think I would use more colors than that. I can always mix my colors what I want to do. So now let's have a look. I also have got some of my palette knives here that we might be using. I don't know. And the fan brushes. Fan brushes are nice to do foliage. And I was thinking of working on some foliage today. All right. Okay, so now let's have a look and see. Okay, so there you can see where the painting is at. Okay, what I have done in the last video, I put in some of the bigger foliage, and I've also added a few stem-like protrusions here from the back. We've also added a little bit of the yellow to have it yellow felt flowers there in the background, and it's coming past. These plants are taller, so it's not going over them, but we are making a differentiation there. And then I will also still work on the shading. So today basically I want to work on the forest floor. Okay, so let's get started. I have got Galcut here too on my palette, and let's have a look. I'm going to see what color I can mix here. Let's see. We have got some of the, I just want to see here quickly. Okay, I have mixed now some sap green and yellow ochre, and here you can see the color. Okay, all right, so now let's have a look and see where I can put these. Okay, I think I will work with the palette knife a little bit. So my aim is just to stipple. Okay, so we are not going to have a lot of flowers or greenery that we can recognize. It is tiny plants and it is the undergrowth basically. Okay, so let me just clean this off here. I'm going to go with a brush. Let's have a look here. Which brush do I want to use for this? I do have a round brush. I'll just see here quickly, where did I put it? Where's my round brush? No, it's not here. Okay, so if that's the case, then I will use this one here. This is just a filbert, a number 2 filbert, and it's got quite chubby bristles, so it is good for the oil, I think. Okay, so now let's have a look. I'm going to just add these along the path here. in a forest we have got so many different greens, and I find that green is one of the most challenging colors to work with in nature because of the many different types of greens. If you have watched one of my previous videos where I used the green watercolors to mix all the different greens from just using a few, you can see that you can have many colors with the greens that you can mix. And if you go into a forest and you look at the plants, some of them are blue-green, some of them have got red showing through, some have got yellow showing through, some have got gray showing through. So there are so many different colors of green. And some of the colors that we get straight from a tube is very vivid. So we have to always see to use the harmonious colors with it. Okay, so let's just have a look here. Okay, I am now taking a little bit, I just want to get some Galcid in here. Okay, this is now the darker green straight from the tube. Okay, just to give it a little bit of definition. And at the moment I'm using a tapping motion. There's something stuck on my brush. Okay, let's try again. I am just pushing the paint onto the canvas. I don't want to make strokes. Oh dear, we have frozen. Hold on 1 second. Sorry about that. Okay. Apologies. Okay, I am not using brush strokes like this because I don't want to blend everything away in the background. I want it to just be like stipples, like tiny leaves. If I think of the plants that you get in a forest, tiny fern leaves, they are small, they are stippled, they are not painted big, broad strokes like these foliage in the foliage in the front. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit of my alizarin red with this dark green. And this is giving me a very nice, a rich darker color. I want to add some more here in the shadow of this tree. We can also use this color for shading. So I can put my shadows in underneath these big leaves. Now what you will see me do here is you would see me anchor my brush with my pinky. Okay, it's important though that if you are doing oils that you make sure that your canvas is dry, because you can really smear your painting. Some people like to use a big stick that they can lean across, that they can hold a big brush, or some people just do it freehand like that. When I want to do something precisely, I will firstly move my brush closer, and then I would put my pinky out so that I can stabilize. Okay, so it would be something like this. Now here I am not stippling, I am adding a shadow under these big leaves. If I want to paint very loose, I will just use my brush just like that without pressing or stabilizing my arm. Okay, So let's have a look here. We can also put some under this one here. Let's work it a little bit looser. Okay, so now we can see this leaf is popping more of the canvas. It doesn't look as if it's absolutely flat on the canvas, and that's what we want. We want things to look as if they are alive and they are coming off the canvas. Okay, let me just see here. I just want to, let me just screen. With oils, your brushes very quickly can get muddy, and sometimes I work with one brush. I have got all these brushes here, but then there's one brush that I start with, and when I realize I've only used 1 or 2 brushes, and I thought, okay, why don't I use the other brushes too? But you get in the flow and you're happy with the one brush. Okay, so let me take some of the mixture with the yellow ochre and the sap green. I just want to see. This leaf is a little bit wonky over here, too wonky for my liking at the moment, and I think I'm going to make another leaf come out here. Let's see. It's missing something over here. There we go. Okay, now I will just touch these other leaves also so that they have got a similar shape. Okay, let's see. I like that much better. Okay, so you adjust. You would see that there's something that you want to adjust on your painting, and you do that. Once you are finished with something, that doesn't mean that you can't go back and do something additional on it. Okay, all right, so now let's have a look here. I was distracted with the big foliage. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to put this brush down here. And now I'm going to see if I can use the little fan brush and what I can do with that one. Okay, so I want to get some of this darker green and a little bit of the yellow ochre, and I'm picking up a little bit of the alizarin crimson too. So I've just picked up different colors. Okay, so let's have a look what we can do. We can make a type of foliage here. Oh, I like the yellow ochre in it. Okay, and we can bring it across. It can look as if it's a maybe like a tree fern or something that's not too happy because it's got the browner colors. Okay, I like that. I think I need a lighter color, a yellowy color. Let's have a look and see. What do we have here? What about Naples yellow? Let's see. This is the color of the Naples yellow. Okay, I don't want to use like a lemon yellow or a different yellow because I want to keep it light and more to the warmer tones. Let's see what other yellows I have here. Hold on a second. Whoops. I also have this one here. Okay. All amid Okay, these are the Zelen artist oils. Okay, so it's got weird names. I'm also going to just put a little bit of that out here. Okay, and I will just show you the different colors. Okay, so if we look here now, we can see that is that yellow, and then here let's pick up some Naples yellow. There's some Naples yellow on the side here. Okay, so I'm just going to do this here. Here we can see again, we can bring the foliage to life. Oh, it's noisy to paint with oils, especially if you are stippling or tapping with your brush. Okay, I want something to go across the pathway here. So let's just see here, what can we put here? Let's have a look. Can you see those? I like that. It looks like a fern or something that's growing. I will take you closer later. Okay, so let's see. I want to bring in some of this yellow with some sap green. Let's see here. Okay. If I think on the types of plants that you get in the forest, some of them have got these leaves that just falls over like that. Let's see if we put in some darker green. I hope you're having fun. I am. Okay, so here we can see it's coming over the pathway. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so yes, we'll have to make sure that we have got a few plants that go over the pathway also, because the pathway is not really very streamlined and straight in a forest. Okay, let's have a look and see what we can do with these colors. I have got some Naples yellow. I'm going to add some Prussian blue to it. That's an interesting cold bluey gray color. Okay, let's see. Where else do I want to put this? It just gives it a little bit of balance between the warms and the colds, and it's pushing it a little bit backwards, the colder colors. Let's see here. I'm going to add a little bit of sap green with that mixture, and then we can see how it would change the look of that. Okay, so now let's see here. You can see it's a warmer tone. Also putting a little bit of yellow with it. Let's see over here. It's like a shrub growing in front of or a plant in front of the tree there. Okay, I like what I'm seeing here. It looks very happy and cheery, and it's changing the atmosphere a little bit for me, so that is good. Okay, so let's bring in more happiness. So let's see. Let's continue over here. I'm taking my yellows. I'm thinking of a plant. It's called goldenrod. I'm not sure if you do get it in a forest though, but this is what it's reminding me of. The little flowers, and it's very beautiful. Sometimes it gets used in flower arrangements a lot. Something that you won't see me do unless it is for a white flower is to add white. So some people, the obvious choice for them would be, if you want to make something lighter and brighter, to add white. White does not always make it lighter and brighter. White sometimes, or most of the time, if you put, say for instance, I use one of my trees as an example. If I use burnt umber and I add in white because I wanted a lighter shade, I am going to end up with a coffee color, and a flat coffee color. Okay, so you don't want to always add white. White can be very challenging to add to your painting and not to make it totally flat. If you are looking for pastels or soft light, or like the lighting in the background, yes, then by all means you can add some white. But if you mix your whites with your colors, your color is going to change dramatically. And if I have to, say for instance, if I have to take this green and add white, I'm going to end up with mint. And that's not really what I want on this painting. Okay, so just for those who were wondering why I don't just use white. Okay, that's why I'm mixing different colors. The Naples yellow here, I think, is the lightest of my color. Let me just show you the palette again quickly. You can see a little piece of it there. Let's see. Okay, that's what my palette looks like at the moment. You can see the colors there that I'm using. So I don't want to use white on my painting unless it is like a little bellflower or a tiny daisy or something that is white. Then yes, by all means, but not to lighten or brighten colors, because it's going to do the opposite. And I think sometimes beginners, when they paint, they think, oh, let's put white together, and then it makes them very despondent because they can't understand what is happening with the colors. It wasn't what they expected. Okay, so we always just have to be mindful of that. So where we add our white, what is it going to do with our color? It's going to change the personality of our color totally. Okay. Here you can see I've just taken a little bit of this lighter mixture that I have here with the yellows, and I've just added it on top of this darker fern that I've done here, and it's given it some impact and some highlights too. Okay, so now This one here in front of the tree looks a little bit iffy. What can we do to brighten that one up? Let's have a look. I want to brighten it up with, let's see what nice green we can mix here with the Prussian blue and this nice yellow. Oh, I've used too much Galcut there. That's very runny. Let's have a look here. Okay, so there's the green that I've just mixed. All right, so now let's see. This, it has got a stem and then it has got foliage going from the sides here. So let's see. Adding that on top. It needs a little shadow. Let's give it some darker shadows. Okay, I will go in here and then I will give it a more, still a deeper shadow too. Okay. So give it additional foliage here to the top. And I think what is happening here with my brush is that my brush is now muddy. It's too muddy to put down paint. So then this is where I have to then just clean it a bit. I have got cloths here that I clean my brushes with, but you know what? A piece of kitchen towel is just handy because you can just chuck it in the bin, in the outside bin. Otherwise it honks in the kitchen. Okay, all right. So now I am reasonably happy with what we have here. Here I can still see needs attention over here, but this bed here is coming to life very nicely. Okay, and you can see that the sun has moved, so I'm no longer in the sunshine. Okay, all right, so let's see. I want to do something over here, and I like the darker, the browny colors. So let's see. How did I mix my brown? Going to take this darker color here, the dark green, with a bit of red and a touch of yellow ochre. Okay, so let's see. That is an interesting color. It's a very cold green color at the moment. Let me see if I can warm it up a little bit. Okay, now my brush is again. Oh, I just stuck my finger in the paint. Nice. Okay. All right, so now let's see. I'm also going to pick up some of the Naples yellow here and there on this in between. Okay, so you can see what my brush looks like now. Okay, so we're predominantly getting the Naples yellow. I actually don't mind what I'm seeing here. Okay, so we just have to, let's see if we can. Okay, now the canvas is too dry. I'm just seeing if we can, sometimes I use the back of my brush to draw the stems. Let's see, we can make this one come over. Okay, so let's see which fine brushes do I have here. Okay, I have got this brush here. I am just going to see if I can make a stem for that. And now I'm using my pinky. Okay, sorry if my hand is in front of the camera. I've just noticed that something must have happened to this brush. It's rock hard, but it is creating a very nice effect in drawing the branches of this plant here. Interesting. Okay. All right. I'm not sure what happened to this poor guy. Let's also use it here a little bit. Let's see what we can add here. Okay. All right. Okay. It needs a little bit of attention, this one. I'm just going to put it away here. All right, so now let me have a look and see what we can do next. I think this area here is still too plain. We are going to need something over here and over here. So let's see. I want to put in something a little bit more cheery on this side. So I am going to use the yellow. I'm going to use a combination of this yellow and Naples yellow. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, so what I'm going to attempt is just to tap. I'm going to tap up this one here as if it is a yellow plant. Whoops. Now you can see what has happened there. Can you see the whoops? Oh dear. I made a whoops. Let me find paper. Why is that a whoops? Do you know? This tree is in front. And now that background plant is in front of this tree. So that cannot work like that. So we now have to quickly rectify this. And I'm just going to rub that off there. I don't want that on the tree. Okay, there we go. Crisis sorted. Okay. What I want to do on that part there is just add a little bit of the brown color again. So I'm going to take, I don't have brown on my palette. I'm going to take some alizarin red and some sap green, and I'm just going to mix that brown there. And then I'm just going to add that in here again, where I have now wiped, because it will make, there we go, it will make a like a milky shading there, because the Naples yellow has a lot of white in it, so it is an opaque color. Okay, so the opaques, they stand out a little bit more. Okay, so now while I have got the brown on my brush, where can I add the brown? So let's just come here and fix this up a little bit here, because we want to see this tree a little bit more. Let's see. Okay, let's grab some more of this dark brown. And now when we put the dark brown in between, it is now lifting off from the canvas, which is fantastic. That is always something you want to, it has to look alive. It doesn't have to look just flat all the way. All right, so let's have a look. What can we do over here? I just want to cover that green because that green is so vivid. And remember, I did not start this canvas. Remember, this was the canvas that my daughter started donkeys years ago and just left here. So it wasn't me that started this color green here. I want to add it in there. Really, I'm now watching on the screen as I'm painting because I want to get rid of that bright green there. Okay, that already looks much better. Let's continue with this little one here. Let's see. You can see the opaque. The minute you touch the opaque, it would make a blob. Okay, so now let's see. We don't want that. We want a nice green color. So let's take some of this green here and the yellow ochre. Okay, let's see what we can do. Now this can go over this tree here because that tree is further in the background. Okay, so that does not matter if it goes over that tree. That is quite okay. All right. While I'm here, I can just fix these the trees that are in the background. Let's just see if we can give them a little bit more dimension too. Okay, let's see. I'm being careful not to go over this one because then we'll have the same as we had here. This one is in the foreground. That tree is in the background. That tree there is further away in the background. So we always have to be mindful of the position of the things that we are painting. And you can see I'm basically just stabbing and touching to create that foliage effect. Okay, let's see over here. We have got a nice color here. This one I want to take over here too so that we can see it is continuing over there. Let's add a little bit of yellow to give it another layer of interest. There we go. Where's my other brush with my brown? I just want to, what did I want to do now? Hold on one second. I've lost my place. People, I've lost my place. I just want to do something here with this tree. It's very, very scraggly. And I just want to, let's see, that edge there. I'm just trying to mix a brown. Okay. You can see that I have anchored my hand. I want to fix this part here. And what I'm doing is because this is a different color to the original, I'm working it in. I'm putting some of this color here also so that it doesn't look as if, oh, that was added on later. Okay, so I've just fixed this edge over here so that it looks better on that side. Some places on the trees the brown is very prominent and the bark is very rough. Some of them I'm going to leave, some of them I like, some of them don't make sense, so I will change it. Like this one here doesn't really make sense, but maybe we will use that to add another plant in the background that has got similar foliage to that one. Okay, so let's continue with, where was I? Let's see. Let's continue with our sap green and yellow to see what else we can do here. Okay, are we finished now on this side? I think we can just maybe just add a little bit of interest here. Okay. All right, let's have a look. I really like what I see here. Okay, I'm very happy with that. So now we are going to go to the other side. Let's go to the other side. Okay, let's see. Okay, we have got a tree over here that we can work on. Maybe it is a young pine tree, or I'm not sure what type of trees these are. They are just trees in a forest. They are just beautiful trees. Oh dear, we've done it again. I'm so sorry. I need to find out why the setting goes off so quickly. Okay, there we go. Let's see, are we all on the right place? Okay, so this is the tree that I have just done over there. All right. So now I'm moving over to this side here with the small foliage. Over here we started to put in some of the darker foliage, and now we can also go over that with some lighter foliage. So let's see. I like to layer when I paint, and sometimes I like to leave things to dry off a little bit before I start again with the next layer. But let's have a look. We'll just start layering here. Just be mindful that this tree is in the foreground, the foliage there is in the background. We always have to think of the position. Okay, this over here is also now a little bit harsh. I'm just going to do that. Okay, cool. Okay, this part over here I will finish once I have started that side, so then we'll have a look and see where we get to. All right, maybe I can finish it all today. Let's see. I want to paint, I just want to take off that brown. I want to just give this plant here in the back a little bit more definition, because it looks a little bit lackluster here at the back. Okay, let's see, that looks better already. You can see it now. Okay, so now let's have a look. I think that the Galcut is giving me a blocked nose. It does smell strange. I know my dad always complains when he comes into the studio when I'm working with wells. He said, ugh, it stinks. How can you breathe here? I love the smell of oil paints. It's part of the experience. Okay, and I don't have my fan going, and I don't have my door open, so yes, I know I am stuck here with all the fumes, and it makes me happy, so it's okay. Let's see. Let's go over here. You know what? I think I want like an orangey color too. Let's see what we can do with orange. Let's grab some of this. And you will notice I'm not cleaning my brush in between. Okay, I'm just wiping my brush on my kitchen towel. I'm taking some of the red. And now I'm going to take some of this yellow and see what we can come up with. What color we can make with this. Oh, that's an interesting color. It's like a... Not what I want. It's not what I want, people. Okay, let's see. Let's grab something else out of here. The box of tricks. Okay, let's let me have a look and see. I'm going to take a little bit more of this paint. I think that would help because it's basically finished. Okay. This color is not doing it for me. No. Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do, this is what I'm mixing here now is basically yellow ochre, and I don't want that. Okay, I have got yellow ochre already. So I'm just going to wipe that off. Okay, let's just see here. Clean this brush a little bit. Okay, so I am going to use my orange color pastel. Okay, so now let's see here. Just wanting to warm it up a little bit. It's still a little bit cold. Okay, they go very cold and stiff and crumbly when they are not exposed to the heat of your fingers. Okay, so I want to bring in some yellow orange over here. I'm just making like circles here. Just scratching it here. Let's see what we can do. We're going to bring that color under these big leaves here too, to continue it down behind this tree. Okay, so now we can see we have got some orange over here and it's coming down here. I actually think I want to add more here. I'm using my wrong hand. It's very good for the brain if you use the wrong hand some days. Okay, let's see here. I want to go a little bit in here too, to just give it a little bit of a more orangey type of foliage here. All right, to bring the oranging color over there. Good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now what I'm going to do, I just want to make sure my brush is cleanish. I'm going to add some of this yellow with the orange. I'm mindful not to go over the tree as it is in the background. The tree is not in the background, the foliage is like behind the tree. Now bringing it up all the way here. Okay, I'm going to continue down on the side with the yellow. Oops, I did go over my tree a little bit. I will have to fix that. Okay, now let's do it on purpose. Let's be purposeful with this one. Let's see if we can do one of those plants that I can see it over there. That looks interesting. Okay, let's just see. Okay, I don't want it to go off again. So what I'm going to add with these here is I'm just going to add a little bit of the dark green so that we can just see. There we go, a little bit more definition. There we go. Okay, so what I want to do also is take this dark color again. I want to just make sure that I am going in behind this tree and not in front of the tree. There we go. And again, we can bring some of the foliage over the pathway. All right, now let's see. It looks very good on camera. In real life, I have got the glare of the lights here, but if I look at what I see here on the camera, it's looking good so far. I'm very happy. All right, so now let's see. I'm going to do something over here. What would I like to do? What about bringing in something pink? Do we want to have pink? I'm not sure. Let me think on the pink. Maybe I will bring in something purple because the purple would add another interest. Okay, so I have got, let's see, divided purple. I'm just going to check the colors here. Okay, that is a warmy purple here. Okay, let's see this one here. This one looks a little bit colder, but it still looks very similar. I want something darker. I don't have a darker one. Okay, we'll use this one and see what we can come up with. Okay, so maybe I want to put some purple over here, or do I want to put it over here? I wish I could hear what you have to say. Okay, let's see. Now remember, if I don't like the purple, I can take it away. Let's see what we're getting here. You know what? We'll have to use purple paint. I can see immediately I'm not going to like it. Okay, cool. Not a problem. We will see if we can find some purple. What do we have here? We have got some permanent violet. Let's see. Okay. Now, with the purple flowers, if I want to have differentiation on the purple, then I would add tiny bits of white, but not as a rule, just to do the white and to mix the colors. Okay, so now let's see. Let me take a different brush. I'll take this one here. Okay, let's have a look and see what we want to do with the purple. And I think I am going to use a bit of white with it just to pop it, because the purple is a transparent. This purple is transparent, and it is not. It needs a little bit of white to pop it forward. Let's see. What is this? Titanium white. Oh, it's so stiff. Brush. Which brush did I use? Oh, this one. I put it down in front of me. I can't find it. Okay. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of white here so that we can just grab some Galcud. We can pop the color and let's see what we can do. Okay. All right. Ooh, don't want my sleeve in the paint. Look at that. It is a beautiful lavendery color. It's a bush of something. I'm not sure what we have growing here, but it is very beautiful. You can see how the color is coming off there. See, that is what white does. It makes your color flat and opaque, and in this case it was helpful. If we have to mix green, we would not get that rich green, we would get mint. So in this case it was helpful for us to use the white. I can also use some clean white in between. Let's see, to give it even more of an effect. And now we can see here that this is in front, it's between the two leaves, but it's in front of this leaf going over the pathway. Okay, I really like that purple. Can we do the same with a bit of pink maybe? Now that I've brought in the purple, let's see if we can add in a little bit of pink somewhere. I think we have to add a little bit of purple over here too. So let's start with the dark purple first for the background. I'm just going to put it across the pathway. You always want to balance your colors. So if you have got 3 spots or so where you can have a color, then it's balanced. Okay, and I'm going to add a bit of white or some white flowers. Okay, my brush is muddy. Just clean my brush. Try again with the white. There we go. Okay, so now we can see we've got this one here, and maybe we'll stick it here in front of the tree too. So let's start with the darker color first, the dark purple. I'm doing the darks because it gives it the effect of depth. Okay, then I'm going to my medium color, which is the one that I've mixed with a bit of white, adding in the medium color. I'm going to clean my brush because it's muddy, and I'm going to add the white. There we go. I like that. What do you think? Wow. Okay. Very, very nice. Okay, so that was the effect that I wanted to get with the, oh, stuck my fingers in the paint, with the orange. So maybe I will later still go in and, once this is drier, go and pop the orange off a little bit more. Okay, so I think we are nearly done for today. Let me just quickly go over the bottom pieces here of the foliage. Let's see quickly. I'm going to grab some of the sap green here. Okay, and I'm going to take some of this yellow color. You can see there the color on the brush, and I am just going to play here with a little bit more color. And if you hear the crunchiness of this brush, it is crunchy. It's old and stiff, but it's doing a fantastic job, so I don't want to get rid of it, because it's nice to push paint in where you want it to go. Okay, so I have worked on here a little bit. I will still continue to work there when it is a little bit drier. Okay, so now let's see. I just want to add some more definition here. Okay, I'm happy with the few plants that are trailing over. I just think that these yellow ones over here, I have to just make it a little bit more balanced. There we go. Now it looks balanced. Okay. All right. I think this is where we are for today. Let me just see here quickly. I'm going to take you on a journey. Okay, first of all, let me show you what the palette looks like. This is the palette. Okay, and then when we come closer, we can see the side here. Okay, and then we can see that side over there. Close up on the foliage. You can see there we got that the nice brush marks for indicating the twigs, the purples. You can see that some of the plants are in the background, some are coming to the foreground. So let's have a look. If I take it all the way back, can I fit it in? Okay, I think I'm doing something on the screen here because it's giving me strange things here. Okay, so this is where we are now. And I think it has come on leaps and bounds, and I am very happy with the process. Okay, fantastic. Now let me just land that and I'll stop share. Oops, it's right in front of me. Okay, so thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope that you learned a few things and that you also enjoyed the journey. And I am looking forward to seeing you again soon. Then hopefully we will complete the pathway and then we will call it done. Okay, thank you, friend. I will see you soon. Bye.